Hey guys, wanted to go ahead and just do a overview of the Moondrop LAN version 1. Okay, so before I go on further, I'm going to go and put some notes on the screen. Please note that whatever is in the notes is a little bit different from what I talk about in the video, as it tends to talk about like more granular detail and other things. But yeah, let's just get right into it and to go from there. Okay, so this is actually kind of a strange IEM for me to evaluate because there's kind of like okay, let me try to explain this. It's actually really good for the price, like technically, because if you think about it, it's $45, right? And I saw this review by Super Reviews.
When it comes to under $50, this is kind of just, this is peak, right?
Mark a few days ago, and he was actually saying, if you look at it within how it's priced compared to IEMs at or below its price, it's a really good IEM. And as I thought about it, no, he's right. You know, and he actually is. Like, and I'll tell you why. I would rank it better than Moondrop Chew 2. I would rank it better than Cadenza, Kiwi Ears Cadenza V1. I would rank it better than Moondrop LAN 2 Reference. I would rank it better than the Tantrum Bunny. You know, and I think that's kind of the underlying theme, is that when I was actually looking at IEMs that are at the same price or lower, this is actually pretty good at its price range of $45. However, I will talk about IEMs that actually, you know, some IEMs you should probably consider checking out instead as well. Okay, so let's talk about the semantics. So bass, what would I say the bass sounds like? So to me, the bass was pretty lean. It lacks power. It's not visceral. I actually would say it's kind of like that lean bass, like kind of like that. It's got a lot of quantity. I mean, not a lot of quantity, but good quality kind of bass. But it's worse than that. You know, it's kind of like, it doesn't even have the punch in it. It's just like, it's kind of interesting because I remember reading some posts like about it, like from here and there. They were like saying, oh, the bass on that is blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I'm like literally thinking to myself, what? Where is it? What bass? This doesn't have bass, man. Like, at least to me, it's just like, it doesn't meet my bar. So I would give it a ranking of C. In terms of sub bass, so if this is correct, as in like this is how the sub bass is probably supposed to sound in that song, and then this is above correct, as in it's a little bit more fun, and then this is way above correct, as in like Beats by Dre, like whoa, like boom, 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 like that's doesn't quite sound right, and then this is below correct, as in like it's polite. Well, this is actually, it's anemic, like as in it's down here. Like, it's below polite. It's like, when it comes to sub bass, it is so pathetically low. I was like, where the hell is your sub bass? This has no sub bass. So this is very bad with bass, in my opinion. So I'd give it a ranking of C on bass. And in terms of sub bass, I would give it a ranking of anemic. In terms of female vocals, I would say it's between a B and a C, but leaning towards B. As in, it's almost good, but it's not quite good, and some things hold it back. Female vocals sound just a smidge thin, a little bit brighter slanted, a little bit lighter, and a little bit sharper. But it's not as bad as, but it does sound better than these. But I don't know if that's really saying much. And it does sound like it's pretty good, but it's not quite good. You know what I mean? It's just a little too thin for my tastes. I want a little bit more. In terms of male vocals, I would actually say that it's a ranking of C, as in it's average. It's it's notably worse than the female vocals. Male vocals in particular, they sound really thin. I was like, what the hell? Like they just sound thinner. Like Chris's voice sounded thinner, Justin's voice sounded thinner. And sure enough, when I actually wore these IEMs, and I was speaking into a microphone, my voice sounds higher pitched, it sounds thinner, and it sounds just like, I made an image here. It's Diet Coke. That's what it does to your voice. If your voice is supposed to be Coke, it's Diet Coke. It makes your voice sound, it lacks a lot. It sounds a little bit more synthetic, a little bit brighter, a little bit, just a lot's missing. You know what I mean? That's what it does to male vocals. Soundstage was actually pretty good on this. I would just say, like, it sounded to me a little bit above average. It was definitely not below average. In terms of comfort, I would give this a rating of S. I thought it was great. Sibilance scores on these were amazing, as in like you're not really going to get really, really super harsh sibilance. When I went on regular volume, it was around low to medium. And then when I went to like cranked it up by like 25%, it was like more closer to like medium to medium high, but it never gets high or very high or painful. So it's really good on sibilance scores. And overall, like if I had to describe kind of what this sounds like, it just basically sounds kind of like a better cadenza 2, like version 1. And in many ways it is true. This is actually better than the version 2 variant of the LAN 2 reference. Now, let's talk really quick money-wise, like what are some other things you might want to check out. So one IEM you might want to check out, which is $20 cheaper than this. This is the GK Kunten. This has better vocals in this, and this has better bass, and it's just overall it's better for $20 cheaper. So if you want something that's better than this, that's cheaper, check out the GK Kunten. Another IEM you might want to check out is actually so on Linsol right now, and I'm not sponsored by this company. I'm just noticing right now, as in today, there is a promotion where this is $29. This has better male vocals and better female vocals compared to this. It's much more lush and much more full. I'm not talking about instruments. I'm not talking about pianos. I'm not talking about gaming. I'm talking vocals. That's what this guy does. And basically, it destroys this IEM in male and female vocals. I guarantee you, if you listen with this, then you listen to this, you will notice how thin these vocals sound like. And these vocals are not up to par compared to this. If you just pay $10 more, you can get the RDT10. Pop on some Kiwi Ears Flex ear tips, and these blow these away. Just $10 more, okay? And then $20 more, you can get the Sivka Q, which blows these away in vocals, right? So